To everything there is a season, a time to every purpose under heaven. Things do not just happen, they happen in their time. You cannot separate your experiences from your seasons. The reason for snow is winter. The reason for rain is rainy season. If you want to know why it's happening now, ask your season. What if obedience to God costs you everything you have, everything you've labored for, everything you built up, or even your life? As we look at Jeremiah 26, we're going to be looking at courage to speak the truth, even in hostile seasons. In hostile seasons. We talked about 2026 as a year of persecutions. Paul faced persecution in Acts chapter 26. Jesus faced persecution in Matthew 26. In 1 Samuel 26, David was being persecuted. Saul wanted him dead. King Saul wanted him dead. So sometimes you're in the will of God, but things are still hard. Philistines persecuted Isaac. They were closing his wells. So how do we continue to speak the truth courageously, even in hostile seasons? So, in Jeremiah 26, Jeremiah spoke the truth. He preached the truth and was nearly executed for it. He almost died for speaking the truth. Jeremiah went to the temple and warned the people about the coming judgment of God. This city will be destroyed. Things are going to happen. People will go into captivity. And the leaders rose against him, said, "No, you are defecting to the Chaldeans. You are a terrible man. This is sabotage. You are not with us. You are with our enemies." They rose up against him, but for speaking the truth. The prophet is one who speaks to people on God's behalf. The prophet does not speak to always encourage the people. I know you hear it often that, the New Testament prophet, speaks encouragement. It's not all the time. Whether it's a New Testament prophet or Old Testament prophet, the prophet speaks the mind of God. If disaster is coming, the prophet tells the people disaster is coming. Disaster is coming. He tells them in plain language, disaster is coming. Trouble is coming. This is what we need to do to escape. So it's not just about, both Ezekiel and Jeremiah will talk about prophets who speak peace, peace, when there is no peace. When there is no peace and you just keep encouraging the people, yes, let's keep move on, just move on. Winners don't quit. Winners don't quit. Yes, that's when you're doing the right thing. But if you're doing the wrong thing, you need to quit. You need to quit. So, if a man is supposed to be going north and you keep cheering him as he's going south, he will never get to his destination. Cheering him as he goes the wrong direction is not going to help him. Is to tell him, say, "Hey man, you're going the wrong direction. You can't go to the north heading south. You need to make a turn. So Jeremiah spoke the truth, and the leaders were angry with him. They said, no, you shouldn't. You shouldn't speak this way. So, but God raised elders. God raised elders in the land who remembered old prophets, who also confronted the people. Prophets like Micah. He said, what about Micah the Morashite? When he spoke to the people, did they kill him? Did they not listen to what he said? So, may God raise people who can speak reason against persecution. But we see it in our world today. People are persecuted for their faith. And it's not just for faith. People are persecuted for their convictions. People are persecuted for their convictions. And just conviction. People are persecuted. They could be politicians. They could be business people. They could be activists. But people are persecuted for their convictions and for what they stand for. So that's what happened to Jeremiah. But God, raised the elders to stand against the people, and the leaders listened, and that's how Jeremiah was preserved. May God raise help. May God raise voices for those who are persecuted. May God raise advocates for those who are persecuted. May God raise help for those who are standing trial for their faith, those who are being killed for their faith. May God raise help. Now, what do we learn from this? Truth will provoke resistance. Once you start speaking the truth, truth will provoke resistance. Sometimes when you start speaking the truth, the first thing you receive is mockery. People mock, they laugh. What does he think he's saying? The next thing you may witness is rejection. We don't want that. We can't believe that. The next thing will be resistance. But whichever direction, keep speaking the truth, even in hostile seasons. The next thing we need to learn is, I just said it. Truth will provoke resistance, but don't soften the message. It's not just about preaching at people. When people need to hear the truth, let them be told the truth. Let them be told the truth. The transition we're making in our time is to have, to come to a place where we represent the interests of God before the people. Let the people know what God is saying. Let the people know what God is feeling. Let the people know what God is thinking. If God is not pleased, let the people know God is not pleased. Now, the other thing we need to know is that God will defend those who trust in him. God will defend those who obey him. It might look risky to obey God, but the truth is God will defend those who obey him. If you've obeyed God, done what you should do, God will defend you. God defended Paul. God defended, the persecuted in the Bible. And God will defend you. So for those who are leaders and teachers and prophets, stand firm in 2026. Stand firm. And speak clearly. Speak clearly. If the trumpet blows an uncertain sound, nobody's going to act. Speak clearly. Stand firmly. Speak clearly. And trust God for vindication. Your vindication won't come from man. It will come from God. That's why Psalm 26 says, vindicate me, O God, and deliver me. So better to obey God and face men than displease God and lose God. I know, displease God. Or rather than please men and lose God. Better to obey God and face men than to please men and lose God. God bless you.